So today we're going to be reviewing the Oracle Consolidation Workbench. I'm going to navigate to Enterprise, Consolidation, and Database Consolidation Workbench. I'm going to click on Create Project. I'm going to put a name over here, Project Demo. Here what I want to do is consolidate from databases to databases. As we already reviewed, we have the option to consolidate from databases to fewer servers or from databases to fewer databases. Let me click Next. On the databases to be consolidated, I'm going to select the source databases by clicking here on Select Source Databases. And let me select Sales and Test. It's processing. As you see, Oracle Consolidation Workbench has gathered all the performance information from AWR data and data that Oracle Enterprise Manager already has about those source databases. We have CPU utilization, memory utilization, parameters about memory like SGA, PGA, resource utilization, and so on. Let me click Next. Now I'm going to select the destinations. I want to select UPGR as my destination database. Oracle Consolidation Workbench also populated the data related to UPGR database. Let me click Next. Here in data collection, I can select the minimum days for the data to be collected for all targets and the maximum days for the data to be collected for all targets. Select 1 and 2. This is a small demo. Data collection starting time immediately. Let me click Next. If I have any pre-configured scenarios, I can select the pre-configured scenarios. I don't have any pre-configured scenario right now. Let me click Next. Now I'm going to be reviewing the details from the Oracle Consolidation Workbench project. Review my sources, review my destinations, the data collection, and I'm going to click Submit. So now the project has been submitted. Again, this is going to take a couple of days for the Oracle Consolidation Workbench to gather the data. And it's going to be reporting me information about the confidence percentage, violations, exclusions, schema conflicts, and so on. On the project demo details, I can click on General and review the general data. Click on Source Candidates. Here I can review the source candidates that I selected for this project. Source workload. This is the workload from the source. Destination candidates. This is my destination candidate. And the advisor findings. Okay. As you can see right now, we don't have enough data for this project. We're going to be waiting a couple of days and we're going to be coming back to see and review the data. Okay, now, so our database consolidation project data collection finished. Remember that we configured this to have only 2 days of maximum days which the data to be collected, right, for all the targets, which are, if we go to our source candidates, we have the sales and the test Oracle.com databases. If we click on our source workload, we can see the source workload for each of the databases. Okay. Advisor findings, we see that we don't have much of them. Okay. So the next step right now is to actually go ahead and create a consolidation scenario, which is step number 2. Let me click on Create Scenario. I'm going to put a name like scenario _1. We have our resource requirements over here. If we have any source exclusion and resource requirements, let me click on Estimate Requirements. It's happening right now. We see that sales.oracle.com, we know that the workload type is OLTP. For test.oracle.com is OLTP as well. These are the CPU capacity estimated, the requirement, the memory capacity, and the memory requirement for that consolidation, for these specific source databases. Let me click next. If we have any constraints like, well, I want to exclude these specific databases based on the database property, which is the lifecycle status, department, location, any exclusions for database configuration, or any conditions, right? I can put those constraints over here. Let me click next. Now for the destination, this is, remember, this is for the consolidation planning, right? So what we're planning for that destination. We can plan for a container database, or we can plan for a single instance database, a non-CDB database. If the database is going to be clustered, if the database is going to be on Exadata, on the cloud, or is a generic server, if we use a phantom database on a new phantom server, or if we want to use an existing database, okay? Right now, I want to use a phantom database in a new phantom server, the CPU spec, and the memory, right? I'm just gonna leave the defaults right now. On the storage configuration, I can specify any shared storage unit if we have ASM, usable storage space per unit in gigabytes, any IOPS per unit, any IO bandwidth per unit as well. If I want to use compression, if I want to use OLTP, query high, low, active high and low, an index compression type, high and low, and LOB compression type for LOB objects. Maximum allowed resource utilization on destination servers. I can play with all these numbers over here. Click next. The destination mapping over here, I can map, if I have a couple of destination databases, I can map, well, this source with this specific destination database and so on. I won't map anything here. Next. And then we just have to review. Let me click submit. And the scenario number 1 was already created. As you can see, the analysis is scheduled. So if I refresh over here, the analysis is in progress. Let me pause the video here till this analysis completes. So now the analysis is completed. I can see all the details over here from scenario number 1. We have the general information about this scenario number 1, sources, destinations, okay? The ratio of where those databases, the source databases are going to be consolidated into, okay? There's going to be a PDB1 and a PDB2 for test.oracle.com. Mapping, we already saw that during the scenario configuration. Storage, okay. Confidence of that consolidation, okay. So we're pretty confident. The confidence is 100%. Any violations, any exclusions, we don't have anything. Any advisory findings, no advisory findings. The next step is to actually implement this consolidation scenario, which is clicking here, implement consolidation scenario, and we have some migration methods. We have the option to use DataGuard physical standby if we had standby, physical standby databases created. We can use an Arman clone. I don't have an Arman backup right now configured for those databases. We can use data pump, full or schema, using export import. This is a cross-platform option, or use full transportable export and import. This is minimal downtime, right? Using this option is also available for cross-platform migrations. I can select the full transportable export import, and I can say generate migration command. Okay. So basically it generated that. I can edit the migration XML, download the migration XML, and just go ahead and implement that migration using EMC Elite Migrate database. Passing the file, I can edit the migration file. You can see here all the migration file. I can validate, and I can download and use it. Save and return. Okay. So after I implement the scenario, right, then we will have to validate that using SPA. So this concludes this small demo of the Database Consolidation Workbench using Oracle Enterprise Manager 13.4. Thank you.